Hello YouTube, welcome back to Super Lorcana World. It is your one-stop shop for everything Lorcana. And this video is very special to me. There were notes, set notes and rulings released by Ravensburg on their website on a PDF file that they're actually taken down from their website, but they released these nonetheless, so we saved some PDF copies of them. Why does this matter? Well, it matters to me because I want to be a judge in this game, like really, really, really badly. Like, I've been a player all my life. I want to be a judge for once. And this just seems like a good way to do that. But not to mention that this gives us a lot of insights on rulings that people ask about all the time. And, like, these rulings, I think, make enough sense. Like, everything makes sense. There's no rulings here that don't add up, like what happens in other card games sometimes. Everything here just makes sense if you apply a good amount of logic to it. But that's not the point. The point is, for today's video, I want to review some of the more complicated rulings that exist, or some things that you may or may not know. And this PDF has pretty much most of them. So I think this is a good start to do that. If you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. Also, let me know if you want to be a judge in the comment section below. It's nice. It's a good thing. All right. So they've broken this down by general rules into ink and then other stuff and then keywords and then characters. So let's just start with the first one here. Are abilities on characters that occur when they're banished in a challenge considered to be happened during the challenge? So here's the example, right? You have the marshmallow, the purple marshmallow. It reads that when this character's challenge is banished in a challenge, you may return this to your hand. And then the Cheshire Cat has an ability that says when this character is challenged and banished, banishing the challenging character. So, the ruling here is if a player banishes Cheshire Cat with Marshmallow, Cheshire Cat's ability would banish Marshmallow during challenge, allowing the challenging player to return Marshmallow to hand. That's very important, because I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, I know some people have tried to argue otherwise. That's just how it works. And that's it. So, if you use Marshmallow, and it gets banished during the challenge, so it seems to indicate the challenge is a specific point in time. Like, this is a moment in time that is happening. The challenge is an event that's happening in the world, and if something happens during that event, then that's fine. That's why Marshmallow works that way. So hopefully that explanation made sense. Next, if I banish a shifted Floodborn character in a challenge while I have a card that lets me gain 1 lore when I banish a character, how much lore do I gain? In the example here, well, I guess the answer. No matter how many cards are shifted in a character stack, they still count as a single character. Only the top card of a shifted character stack is considered banished for the purpose of effects like this. In the example being with Simba, Rightful Heir, you still gain the 1 lore from his ability. I know what I have to do. And that's how that works. So, yeah, it's just basically saying that on a shifted card, the top character is really the one that matters for rulings that have to do like that. And that's how it is. There's no logical way about it. That's just the way that Ravensburger decided to make the cards work. Shifted characters, it only matters for the top card. The bottom card is irrelevant and doesn't matter. Cool? There's some other shift rulings we'll get to when we get to them. Then we have a thing about costs. If you have 2 Mickey Mouse flavored sorcerers, do the magic brooms reduce by 1 and 1? They do reduce by 2 total. If you have 2 Mickey Mouses, you play a broom for free. That's how that works. It stacks. If I use freeze and choose to exert an opponent's the queen, will the queen's exert ability I summon the element draw a card? And the ability is no. The player has to commit the cost. So, like, if you use freeze on your opponent's the queen to exert it, they don't get the draw. It's because you have to exert it. If I want to use the queen, which I'm sure I have around here somewhere. Somewhere I have a queen. Somewhere I have a queen. Right here. This card. If I want to use the queen's effect, I have to exert it to use the effect. If my opponent exerts it through me through a game mechanic, that does not work. Yeah. That seems to make sense to me. Yeah. If one of my characters with a cost of higher than 2 sings Be Our Guest, will I have Ursula's Shell Necklace in play? Can I apply the extra to pay the 1 cost to use Ursula's Shell Necklace and draw? The answer is no. The ink cost to use Ursula's shell necklace must be paid independently from the cost of playing the song. So what this is saying is you have to play your song, but the shell necklace is an independent pay cost. It's just it just happens on its own. The shell necklace does its own thing, and again, that's just how Ravensburger decided to make that interaction work with the shell necklace. It's important because it'll apply to other artifacts like that say when you do this to do that. That's basically what the shell necklace says. Do I have a shell necklace here so I can read it? I do. That's convenient. This card. Whenever you play a song, you may pay 1 power to draw a card. So we're going to get other cards in the game that work exactly like this. Whenever you do X, do Y to do Z. Basically is how it's going to work. So this is a very good ruling that's going to help shed some light on certain things. Inkwell. Can I look at the front of a card that's already an inkwell? No. If I use Mickey Mouse Detective or to put an ink face down, do I look at it? No. If I use Fishbone Quill to put a card from my hand in inkwell, do I choose? Should I show the opponent? No. That's basically it. Basically, you can't look at ink in your inkwell. If a card puts it in inkwell face down, you don't have to reveal it. And obviously, you can't see it if you don't know what it is. But with Fishbone Quill, you know what the card is that you're putting there. But you don't have to reveal it to your opponent because Fishbone Quill does not actually require you to ink an inkable card. Like this, it can let you ink a non-inkable card. Like that. Just so you know. Alright, timing. When more than one effect happens at the same time, what order do they resolve in? This is super huge. Because people mess this up all of the time. This is a big one. So, this is it. If multiple effects of yours happen at the same time during your turn, you choose an order in which they occur, then resolve the effects in that order. After that, each other player resolves their effects in turn, starting the player to your left. Nice little inclusion for multiplayer games, by the way. Clockwise is how it works, right? Because it goes, I guess it's counterclockwise, because it goes to your left. Yeah, so counterclockwise. But that's not right at all. Wait, am I confusing myself? Left player. Okay, yeah, it is clockwise. It's fine, we're all good. Clocks are hard. Anyway, the example here they give is Dr. Facilier and Grandma Tala. If it's challenged and banished, you get to choose whether or not it goes to your inkwell or to your hand. Kind of neat. And now, the most commonly asked question of all. If I play Friends on the Other Side while I have Dr. Facilier, Remarkable Gentleman, in play, will I draw the 2 cards from my deck before resolving the Dream Made Real ability? Yes. Because you resolve the card that plays first, and then all other effects happen afterwards. That's cool. Other. Nice other here. What happens if a card tells me to perform an action I can't do everything it tells me to do? If a card says to perform an action, do as much as you can, this does not apply to actions that are part of a cost. So, yeah. If you use Develop Your Brain, only have 1 card in the deck, you can just add that card to your hand. There you go. Can a character's strength go below 0? What happens if action or effect raises the strength on a character later this turn? This actually matters because this question could imply, do negative things kind of keep? You know what I mean? When a character's strength will be reduced to 0 below, it's treated as 0 strength. If ability or effect later adds strength, all modifiers to their strength are applied at the same time to calculate their strength total. Hope that makes sense. Say I have an Elsa in play, and I choose to ready a character for Anna, heir to Arundel's ability Loving Heart. If that chosen character is exerted later in the turn, will that stay exerted in next turn? Yes. That's very interesting. I don't have an Anna on me to show you the ability, but basically, what this implies is that if something were to, exert and stay exerted, if you untap it and tap it down again for some reason, it stays exerted. So that's really cool. That's a nice little ruling to know. Keywords, Bodyguard. If there are multiple characters with Bodyguard, your opponent chooses which one challenge. That's fine. Challenger plus N. It's combined. If you have multiple instances of challengers, they add together, basically. Reckless. This is actually really cool. Cards with Reckless must challenge if able, but they can sing to or be exerted for other reasons, may no longer be able to challenge. If a character with Reckless is readied, it still needs a challenge of able, even if it already challenged this turn. That's a cool ruling. So I'll give you an example of how this might work here using this card And I guess this card. Okay. So let's say you have Maui. Maui has Reckless. Reckless, it must challenge. So it challenges. But then let's say you have this Shield of Virtue on the field. You tap the Shield of Virtue to untap this. This has to challenge again. It has to challenge again. So in case you didn't know that, now you know. Next, Rush. Characters must rate challenge when they're played, ignoring the need for the ink to dry. May. So they don't have to. They don't have to challenge. They can't quest or sing or exert to do an ability. Okay. Shift. Man, they stuck all the shift rulings here. They stuck them all here. Okay. Does an effect that lets me play a character for free or less ink apply to a Floodborne character using their shift ability? Yes. If a character can be played for free, you can use a shift ability to play the one of a character of the same name without paying the ink to play. Effects that allow you to pay less ink for a card also allow you to pay less ink to Floodborne use shift. Like Lantern. People still think Lantern and shift doesn't work for some reason. Does shifting a character remove damage counters? No. Can you shift the character and challenge requests with them? If they exist on the board already, yes, they can. If not, no, they can't. What happens to all cards in a character stack if the shifted character is banished or goes to your hand? We've talked about this before on stream for sure, but for you guys to know. What happens to the top card of the stack to shift the character also happens to the bottom card. If a card is put directly back in the hand, all cards go back to hand. Top card is put in the ink wall, all cards go back in the ink wall, each counting 1 ink. Top card is banished, all cards go discard pile. Only the top card is stack is considered banished. The stack separates once the cards are moved in another area. Banishing a card always moves it to the discard pile, so effects that move a card to your hand or ink wall when it's banished move it to your discard pile first. Any cards are stacked that become separate again at that point. So yeah, basically they all go in the same place whenever they're removed, and that's fine. Cool. Support. You may add S to another chosen character. The correct wording is another chosen character's S. And you may choose any player's character with your character support ability, which I guess is cool. And a character can't gain multiple instances of the support keyword. Important to know. Important to know that things can't have multiple support keywords. Cool little interaction there. Specific cards. All right. Whole New World. We've seen this one on stream, actually. What happens if someone plays a Whole New World when all players have fewer cards, 7 cards in the deck? The active player resolves first, so that player will lose the game. So if both opponents have less than 7 cards in their deck, and you activate Whole New World, you lose, not your opponent, because you resolve first, because you're that active player. Just so you know. The Bell, the strange but special one, you know. You can read a book multiple times, is what this is saying. And can I place any card, or does it have to be ink wall icon? It lets you ink an additional time, which means it has to be an ink-wallable card. You can't just use Bell to stick Ursula's Shell Necklace in there. Yeah. Dr. Facilier, Agent Provocateur. This is a cool card. If I control this card, one of my Floodborne characters who use their shift ability to be played on top of another card is banished to challenge. Do all cards in the stack out the hand? No. Because the stack of cards all go to your discard pile first and become separate cards, you could only return the top card to your hand. You see, Dr. Facilier checks when it's in the discard pile. That's why that matters. Also, Spirit of Winter. If I use the Deep Freeze to exert 2 characters, can those characters be ready with an ability such as Fan the Flame the next turn? Yep, they sure can. Absolutely. It doesn't perma-stun them, it just prevents them from unexerting during the... or readying during the ready phase. That's fine. Moana Moatui. Moana quests. Can I choose which princesses I ready? If I have princesses already readied or ready them with other effects later this turn, can they quest? If you use Moana's ability, you must ready them all. If you quest with Moana, no other princesses can quest for the rest of the turn. That is super important because people have tried to do this before. As soon as you quest with Moana, none of your none of the other princesses can quest, because Moana will trigger at that point in time when it quests. That's it. It's as simple as that. I've seen people get away with that. It does not work that way. That's just how it goes. The last card on the list is Stitch Rockstar. If I have multiple copies of Stitch Rockstar, can I use the ability during fan multiple times? You cannot, because it has to exert the character. You can obviously only exert a character once. And if you have Stitch, Rockstar in play and a 3-cost character in hand, if I use Lantern to pay 1, can I exert the draw card? You cannot, because the card's play cost is still 3. Like, on the card itself, it is still a 3-cost card. And that's why. So, honestly, this document is a big win from Ravensburger. It's been out, technically, for around a month. But I wanted to cover this now because it's not on their website anymore. And this is important that people know this exists, because rulings are really important, especially with prizing, you know, and stuff like that on the line. Sometimes it's very important. And if you want to be a judge, if you want to be a judge in this program in the future, you got to make sure that you know your rulings. So, you know, never be afraid to ask a ruling, because you always want to make sure you have it right, and always make sure you get right information as well. What do you guys think? Do you guys like videos like this where we talk about rulings in Lorcana? Do you want to see more videos like this? Let me know anything in the comment section below. I'll see you guys later. Bye.